So there's a lottery analogy. We can probably do on the order of 20 to 30% of what we're used to living on for energy. So, what's that mean? Conservation, efficiency, all these other things have to be in play. Otherwise, none of this works. Renewables and reducing energy use is critical. So all this stuff has to happen. Carbon tax, we got to do a carbon tax. British Columbia's done a carbon tax. Sweden has a carbon tax. It works. It helps our economy. British Columbia, as a province, is the best performing province in Canada. And they have a carbon tax. And everybody said, oh, we're all going to go out of business. It doesn't work that way. It actually helps the economy and how they designed it. We're trying to do that in Vermont. So here's some other things. Electricity is going to become our #1 energy carrier. And renewables are electric technologies. Wind, solar, hydro. So we're going to change from about 25% of our energy coming from electricity. We're going to end up at 60 to 90%. Eventually, it will be mostly electric. And because we're going to get off of liquid fuels and hard fuels, coal, we must move to electrified mass transit. And I put this in here, but a lot of people don't want to face the fact that we're probably going to have to abandon the car. The car has been our #1 reason we consume so much energy. Suburbia is built around the car. Our highway system is heavily subsidized around the car. It takes a lot of energy to run a car-centric system. The sad thing is China is adapting the car. And they sold more cars last year in China than were sold in the United States. Something like 18 or 19 million cars. And they think within 10 years they're going to be selling 40 or 50 million cars. And there's about 1 billion cars in the world. There are people that say, well, we're shooting for 2 billion. We don't have the energy to run cars. It's not going to work. So we must go to mass transit and relocalize it. We got to get people to live where they work and get into the community again. They can't be living everywhere. And in Vermont, people like to live 10, 20, 30 miles from work. That's going to disappear. The 10-acre lot way out in the middle of nowhere on a dirt road is not going to be working anymore. It's going to get expensive to live like that. So we have to get closer to where we work. And we're going to switch to heating with electric heat pumps. We're going to electrify our heating system. And when we go to mass transit, we're going to have to electrify our trains. It's much more efficient to run an electric train than it is a diesel locomotive, about 3 times more efficient. And the idea that we're going to be flying around in airplanes is one of the worst consumers of energy and emitting carbon. It's really nice, but I tell my kids, they're in their 20s, I said, if you're going to travel, travel now. Don't wait 50 years. It's going to cost you 10 times as much for every one of those flights.